think last time I didn't even record. So I think it would do us really good to kind of review a couple of things and especially do a little recap of what happened last time. I'm not even 100% sure we finished last time, so you're going to have to help me out with that.
So I'll do what I can, but yeah, I'm not sure how helpful I can be either.
Exactly. Well, we're not really basing what we're doing on last time. Yeah, well, not very firmly basing what we did on last time. Oh my goodness.
Remember, I had a wicked showdown with the Duke of Disaster.
Good. Okay. I remember I found his character sheet. I was like, this guy was awesome.
Yeah, that was super
I'm glad
fun.
I got to use him.
Yeah.
All right. So I am sharing my screen. Ta-da!
There we
Can you
go.
see yourselves? There we go. So we are playing a heavily modified version of Masks, and we've taken your character and from 2 different playbooks, the Janus Beacon, and just like cobbled them together. Just one thing I wanted to change on your sheet there, Joe. I wanted to change one word, and it's very picky, but I think it makes a difference in the way things will play out. Do you remember your straight up creepin' move?
Yes.
Good times with straight up creeping, and you were so good at it. You're so creepy. So the word I want to change is who or what is, I think it was the biggest threat. I want to say the biggest obstacle. I think it fits a little bit with your character because, of course, being a parkour ninja, she sees the world in terms of obstacles, but it also decreases some overlap between straight up creeping and one of the other moves that everyone can make. So could you make that small change? Do you have your character sheet?
Yeah, so I have that on my character sheet. I think for moves, actually, it was changed already. I have, so I see on the character sheet, what's my best way in out? How can I avoid trouble or hide here? Who or what is my biggest threat in this situation?
Yes, change the word threat for obstacle, and then the rest should still be the same. I think that's the only word that I changed. I know it seems picky, but I am very picky. So
for some reason, I don't know why this is, but I do have a set of different questions on what I had as we were actually writing out our character sheets and what I had for notes for.
That's right. And the one that says, like, what is my best way now? How can I avoid trouble or hide? That's the more recent one. That's the one you want to be using. This is what we used last time. So, and I think it fits. It balances the game a little bit. Can I send that to you?
Sure.
Via Teams. Great. All right. And the other thing I wanted to change is this is something that you will not necessarily even see, but I wanted to let you know that I'm using it. I changed a couple of the case moves. I took one out completely. We previously had a move that was something to do about like being on, no, not on the case, but like you're wrapping up. What's that?
It was case in the joint.
Case in the joint? No, that's different.
Nope. Okay.
So we have like an opening the case move that you'll roll at the beginning here, and then you have a closing the case move that you'll use when you think you've got everything figured out. And there was one kind of in the middle, but it was so similar to this one down here, the research one, that I just put it together into one research thing. So whenever you're researching things, and it could be using a lab, a library, a dossier, a database, any source of gathered information, excuse me, then you'll use that research tool. And then the other thing that I added is a case clock. And the move is that you or your characters are going to be doing is when you take risky action to gain more information. So the idea is like it's Detective Comics, right? You're going out, you're trying to figure out what's going on, trying to solve a mystery of one kind or another. And whenever you send your characters to do that, I will be advancing what's called the case clock. And the case clock, I'm going to give you like a 2-second peek. I can't show you any longer because there's spoilers. But it's literally, it looks like a clock, literally. This.
Oh, can't see.
I'm very tiny too, so I'm down in the bottom corner there. So you can't even see it, which is really good.
Blending into your
But it's got
background
like
anyways.
step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and I kind of check things off as you're going through. And
It blended right in with your
every time
background,
you kind of
Andrew,
take
so
this
we couldn't see it
risky.
at all.
Sorry, what's that?
It blended right in with your background
The
anyways,
paper
so we
blended
couldn't
right
see
in
it.
with your background. We saw nothing.
You can't see anything. It is all a mysterious mystery. It's probably for the best because it's a list of all the things that you will find as your characters take risky action to gain more information. So you're kind of guaranteed to find the core information. And the idea is you'll use things like research and some of your character moves to locate bonus information that will, kind of give you an additional motivation, if we want to put it that way, or additional connections to your character. So we kind of thread the plot into your characters' lives a little bit more with the additional information. So whenever you do something to find more information, I advance the clock, you get another piece of information. We resolve whatever happens in the scene. So maybe you fight somebody and you win, great. Then you kind of traipse off and you've got your information for free. But maybe you fight somebody and you lose. And however the scene ends, whether positively or negatively, will affect the outcome for other clocks. But your case clock will continue to advance. As you get more information, you'll continue to get more and more information. And whenever you do take risky action, after you're finished the scene, you also get a +1 to your next investigation. And I think that's very much like the noir detective feel that we're trying to go. Because, old Humphrey Bogart, he goes and he meets somebody and he's taking a risk because he's going to the place alone and he's going to this guy's office, and then inevitably he gets beat up, but he does find the next step in the information, right? And he then goes on to find the next thing, and he eventually puts the case together. So no matter how things turn out for your characters, you'll continue to move the story forward. How does that sound?
Yeah.
Sounds good to give it a go.
Yeah, that's kind of the feel I was trying to go for last time. I don't think I quite hit it on the nose, but we'll see how this one turns out. So I'm going to close that. And here, one last thing I wanted to share with you. I just picked this map because I like it. I'll zoom out so you can see more of it. I'm going to say that Halcyon City is a lot bigger than this, because this one, you look in close, you see little squares that it might be individual buildings. I'm thinking like maybe those aren't individual buildings, maybe those are like city blocks. And so we're talking about a big sprawling metropolis. I like the idea of having a big like river system going through it. So a couple of rivers meeting together to a big I only know the French word, fleuve, river that goes out into but anyway, I like that idea, and I've labeled a couple of places that your characters have been. For example, the Jaw and Elbow, you remember that? And this is the town square right here. These are places that you've been downtown. Up in here, we have the Halcyon City Alternative Security Prison. That is where supervillains are incarcerated, etc. As like a big compound. And that's where you had your first kind of battle with or your face off with the Anarch. Not the first one, but like where you had your big climax battle with the Anarch when she was trying to free someone and you foiled her. Town Square was where the governor, there was the attempt to abduct the governor right at the beginning. Down here, I think this is where Renee lives. So Vixen's actual house is there. And Crime Alley is across the river on the dodgier side of town. The poorer side.
I like that it's shadowy in the map.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, okay, all the houses are really close together. It's a little bit darker. 100%. That's where Crime Alley is. One thing I haven't labeled is the Halcyon Labs facility. And I think that would be this one down here on the bottom left. That's where you infiltrated last time, and where you ran into what was his name? Not Dr. Disaster, but something like
The
that.
Duke of Disaster.
The Duke of Disaster. So you met the Duke of Disaster there, among other things. Like it was a gong show.
And Dream Tiger.
Dream Tiger, yeah.
Dream Tiger.
Yeah.
All right. So that's kind of a couple of things I wanted to share with you. I'll stop sharing my screen and we'll just chat through. So as far as I remember, when we last left our heroes, you had gotten a tip from a winged superhero about something that was going down at Halcyon Labs. And so you two made a plan to kind of infiltrate the lab and figure out what was going on. And after hefty planning and a few well-placed leaps and guard dropping, you made your way into the belly of it, into the basements of Halcyon Labs, where you found a strange, unmarked set of corridors that led you through a bizarre kind of illusionary realm that you had to get past until you encountered a big underground cavern, which was very strange. And in this cavern, there were some captive people in the thrall of a beautiful androgynous kind of a character named Dream Tiger. It wasn't exactly clear what he was doing to them, but through your encounters with this Dream Tiger, you found out he was some kind of a mentalist. He was attacking you with his mind and making things seem outlandish or frightening in order to overwhelm you and subdue you that way. But you managed to escape.
I think I kicked Jeff's butt.
Yeah, you did. There was that. Yeah, he turned you against each other. Thank you. I forgot about that. He turned you against each other at one point, but your bond of friendship was stronger than Dream Tiger's powers, and you managed to shake each other out of it. And I don't remember what happened to Dream Tiger. Did he escape? Did you just defeat him?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a full-on escape.
Dream Tiger escaped, but we did free the hostages that Dream Tiger was controlling.
Yes.
So yeah, you freed the hostages, and it took some doing because as you were emerging from this subterranean strange lair at Halcyon Labs, you encountered the Duke of Disaster, who seemed to be on some kind of mission, which involved partly involved destroying everything in sight. He was just like plowing through walls, and he had to go and grab something. That was kind of what he was after. But then his path was basically a straight line from the outside of the building to the center where you got this thing, and then back out in a different direction, because what's the fun of going through a hole you've already made? So you encountered this guy. And of course tried to stop his dastardly deed. And I don't remember how it ends. I don't remember how it ended at all. Do you guys have a memory of that?
The Brylin Cube. He was going for the Brylin Cube. I have that written down.
Yeah, it was like a perpetual motion Rubik's Cube, like an endless source of energy.
Yeah.
I'm a genius, If only I could remember this stuff and write it down.
Yeah. It was cool. He didn't get it. I got it. And I left it hidden on the premises and got the heck out of there. And I don't remember what happened to it afterwards. There was somebody. I feel like I left a clue of some kind, but I don't remember what or for whom or anything like that.
I had already left at that point.
I think. Like, cause you were really beaten up.
I got messed up by the Dream Tiger encounter. Yeah, so you kind of faced the Duke of Disaster on your own. At my last scene, I remember I was like on the roof of my apartment building, and Cygnus, this other hero, gave me a warning that I was interfering with things that were. That I should stay out of the way.
Perfect.
Yeah, I think I wrote something down about like anonymous tip. I don't remember for whom, but I don't think it was meant to be for like the public authorities.
Well, let's leave it be because I think I have an idea where we're going to pick up.
Okay.
Let's do some quick setup for the game. You can erase all stress marks from previous games. You can also erase any
Oh,
conditions.
good, because I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I already did as well.
And in case you hadn't, I wanted to give us permission to forget about what happened last time. And then I want you to.
I
I've
had
already
potential marked as well.
Perfect. Keep the potential.
Keep the potential. Okay.
Yeah, don't erase any potential because potential is cumulative, right? I've also added 2 points to your team's pool because
Forgot about the team's
at
pool.
the beginning of the game. Yeah.
Beautiful.
So making sure there's anything else. Yeah, at the end of every session, we have a chance to mark experience. I have written down, but of course I mean potential. Mark potential or switch labels. I don't think we'll go over that because I think we might have done that at the end of last session. And I think that's it for the beginning. So you are sitting in together in an abandoned, a condemned building in one of the rooms. The place has been gutted. So you're on the floor of a building that's just been gutted. It has all of the major support beams, but it's basically concrete floors, concrete pillars and walls, and then the whole bunch of the skeleton of the interior of a apartment building. The apartment building is in Crime Alley, and you had agreed to meet here because it's time to pick up the pieces and figure out your next steps. And as you were out there, a little bit of dust shakes down from the ceiling and settles on the ground as something big shakes outside, and you hear a very loud voice shouting up from beneath. Attention, superheroes within the condemned building. We are aware of your location and we have you surrounded. If you come out and surrender immediately, your what would he say? We will be able to take you into custody and your cooperation will be noted. If not, you will be considered to be resisting arrest and the full force of our team will be applied to you.
So what are we doing in this condemned building exactly? What brought us here?
You had agreed to meet there. This is someplace that you had kind of scoped out, and you had successfully sneaked in there. I mean, there was like a security truck outside there, and I mean, the guy was half asleep, so it was pretty easy to get past him. You came in around the back. You picked this spot specifically because it wouldn't be, but somehow something happened that seems to have tipped someone off to your location. What do you do?
Do we have like a?
If you do not exit the building with your hands up and all powers decharged, you will be considered hostile and treated as such.
I feel like I am asking the wrong questions, but I would like a little more like mise en scène. Like, were we meeting for like a specific reason? Like,
also,
just
what
talk about next steps? Like, this is like the debrief. You had gotten separated at the end of your last mission. You haven't had a chance to regroup, really. So you just met there. You're in this room together, and then all of a sudden, boom! Something happens, and you get this loud voice.
So if it's in Crime Alley, I assume the location was my suggestion.
Probably.
Do I have my motorcycle?
Your motorcycle would not be up on the floor with you, obviously. It probably would have been parked. I don't know. Did you park it immediately at the building, or did you park it further away?
Or
did you leave it entirely because Crime Alley?
I could see myself like driving it into like like if there's like a parkade of the building underneath or something, like driving the motorcycle in there.
Okay. So yeah, we could say that it's down there. You are not in the parkade presently. You're up on one of the higher floors. You agreed to meet in the middle because Vixen landed on the top of the building and you were starting at the bottom, so you split the difference.
Yeah, fair. Although not fair, because I have to go upstairs.
I had to get to the top of the building, jackass.
So they're calling at you. What do you do?
Did anyone follow you here?
No. I mean, maybe.
Well, then what's going on?
I don't know. Okay. Is there a way to get? Thinking back alleys. What's the quietest way out of here?
Are you wanting to assess the situation?
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. That sounds like exactly what we want to do.
Yeah. You're rolling plus superior. So, I mean, you can both assess the situation, and you have some teams in the pool. So if you want to help, that is also an option. I don't remember how helping works.
I think it's just if we have a teams in the pool, you can just add 1 to the other person's roll.
Yeah.
I feel like that has saved our bacon at least 3 or 4
Okay,
times.
I just rolled 7 for assessing the situation.
Good. So you have 2 teams. You could spend both of them to make it a 9. That's not going to change the quality of your roll. So you get to ask 1 question. It sounds like the question is, what you want to do something about escaping? Is that right?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay. Can you ask the question, and I will answer as honestly as I can.
Okay. What here can I use to escape unseen?
Okay. The voice that you're hearing is coming from below, so you could perhaps go up to the roof to escape unseen. And then it's coming from, so this building is like the middle of the block, so it faces onto the street, and then there's an alley behind. But the voice is actually coming from the side of the building in the parking lot. So it's not clear about which side of the building is going to be best for you to go down on. But yeah, going up to the roof is probably your best option right now.
Okay.
How does this building sit in comparison to others? Like, is it higher? Is it?
Let's refer to my illustrative drawing.
I'm going to turn to Vixen and says, "You arrived on the roof. Do you have a way out?"
Let's do it. I don't have a vehicle. Do I have a vehicle? No, I don't have a vehicle. How the heck do I get to the roof?
Well, you arrived on the roof. I assume you didn't you did that somehow.
Can I say like my van is parked a few blocks away, and my battle van, yeah. And we gotta get up to the roof, and I got a route.
Yeah.
If you can follow me.
Retrace your route. Sounds
all right. I follow you.
All right, so you hightail it up the concrete stairs. Fortunately, there aren't any doors to bang. As you're climbing the stairs, you hear that same voice calling out, "We're going to proceed to enter the building and subdue you, and going to give you to the count of 10 to respond to my things. Please give us a signal if you intend to comply. 1, 2, and then you're going up. You burst out onto the roof. And just as he's getting to round 9 and 10, and he says 10, and you burst out onto the roof, and above your heads not above your heads, but
Stairs.
rotating around the edge of the building, kind of like not on the thing, but like around the edges of the roof. You see a blurring red figure. Woo, woo, woo. And what do you do?
I'm gonna say I'm gonna give him some direction. I'm gonna say, okay, you see that building? Sets of 3 windows. 1 o'clock. About 3 blocks from here. You see that?
The blurring red figure races towards you.
We split up. We get there. 10 minutes.
Okay, we split up. We get there. See how well
And
this goes.
See how well this
Eeny,
goes.
miny, mo, catch
In
the tiger
regards
by
to the
Vixen,
red
it goes
blur,
up
I'm
to-
like, who's this clown?
You take a punch to the face.
Who does? Me?
You, Vixen,
Oh, cool. Okay.
take a stress.
Take a strat. All stressed out.
And sorry, Monstrosity and Vixen, did you split up?
I don't know if
I
we
think we
had
were
been
about
able
to,
to.
Yeah,
but
so-
I don't
Yeah,
think
we
had
decided
just
to.
yet.
Monstrosity, you're kind of making your way around that. Vixen just gets hit by this blurry thing. You both pause to have a moment to glimpse a man. He's tall, kind of skinny, a dark-skinned man with cornrows in his hair. He says, he kind of holds a walkie-talkie that's attached to his outfit. He's wearing a skin-tight, like red vest and red pants with a belt, and he's got his walkie-talkie. He says, "Hey, Blue, shut up. They're up here. Looks like they're trying to get away."
All right. I would like to do my move.
Can I gadgeteer him?
Absolutely. What do you want to do?
Okay. I'm gonna.
Let's say I think Jeff was going to declare something first. Jeff, have you figured out what
Sure.
you want to do?
I want to be the monster with this guy.
Sick.
I'm going to try and frighten and intimidate him. What I kind of want to do is like grab him by his stupid red tights, hold him over the edge of the building, and right in his face say, "You have no idea what you've gotten yourself into."
Great. Roll your be the monster.
You did the monster mash.
9.
9. You choose 2. You frighten
right.
others that you had not intended to scare. You hurt someone or break something you shouldn't have. You feel more of a monster afterward, and mark the condition.
Okay. I'm okay with frightening somebody I had not intended to scare and hurting or breaking something I shouldn't have. Let's go for those 2.
Okay. Great. So you grab this guy, and he's startled because he thought you had gone. You grab him by the vest, and you say what you said. You're holding him over the edge. He says, "Ah, ah," and he kind of lurches, and he's so fast that he managed to evade your grip, but he evades your grip out of the safety of the roof on the edge where you were holding him. And so he gets out of your grip, and then he starts to fall. And meanwhile, he's screaming and screaming and screaming. And you hear over the loudspeaker, all units, treat as hostile. Repeat, treat as hostile." And then you hear a terrific boom, as if a jet was just driving by at supersonic speeds. The whole building shakes and sways for a minute. What do you do?
Got it.
So he's like fallen, like whoopsie daisy. He's
Apparently,
Whoops.
you broke something you shouldn't have.
I'm gonna gadgeteer him and propose
Nice.
we just GTFO. So I'm gonna just like grappling hook him
As you do.
as I do, and then just say we can't gauge this. We got to get it.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right, Gadgeteer. That's a move that you need to roll. Is that correct?
Correct. Always picking up new gear. I can write it in whenever I use a piece of new gear, write it in as an ability. First time you use each piece of gear to directly engage a threat, unleash your powers, or defend someone, you can roll plus mundane instead of the normal
We're definitely going to
level.
call this defending somebody. What's the name of your gear?
Grappling hook.
Classic. That's your go-to.
Yep.
Nice. Okay. So fortunately you have your grappling hook. You fire it off. Roll to defend. Plus mundane, so +3.
I rolled a 5, so +3 is 8.
Oh, thank goodness. I heard 5. I said, he falls to his death.
Right.
So do you choose, which one do you choose? Resist or avoid their blows, add a team to the pool, or clear a condition? Imagining you don't have any conditions marked.
I don't have any conditions marked. No, just stress.
You can clear that stress too, if you wish.
Let's add a team to the pool.
I think that fits really well because you're kind of saving the Monstrosity's bacon here, right?
Let's do it.
One thing to be a monster, it's another thing to be a killer. So you shoot the grab.
We're going for
it latches onto the guy and like further pushes them off the building. He's totally off the building, but you hear him flong, flong, and you feel the weight of this human body as your grappling line takes the weight of this man and he hits the side of the building. What do you do with the other end of the grappling hook?
I think I could just like attach it into a crack and we just gotta go. Just gonna ditch the gear. I got another one.
So does that mean you don't have your grappling hook anymore?
Yeah, I think I gotta ditch it.
There you go. That's a fair cost. And then you are making your escape. I think I'm not ready to let you go that easy, though.
Well, if I can say what I want to do,
yeah,
I want to slide down the rope of this grappling hook. I get that we're in a dangerous situation, but I think I want to try and get my bike. I love that bike.
So you're going down over top of this guy who's on the other end of the grappling hook?
I am, yeah, I'm kind of using like this grappling hook rope as like just kind of like a fireman's pole, just sliding down, and I'm hoping that I'm close enough, that'll get me close enough to the bottom that I can like jump to the bottom and make a run for my bike.
You start sliding down. The guy is probably like 1 story below, and this is maybe a 5 or 6 story building. So he's just down. Like she had a pretty quick response, and so she's just down past the edge. But if you take a risk of some kind, I'm sure you could make it to the fire escape that's like just over there.
Okay.
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna jump for it. I'm gonna jump for the fire escape.
I think that's unleashing your powers because you're using your
that's
animal
more than
instincts
fair.
and feral skills to make this impossible leap.
Rolling for freak. That's okay. Freak's my good one. Just rolled an 11 plus my 3 for freak, so 14.
100%. So that was unleashing your powers, and an 11. Yeah, no problem. You can even add a flourish. Describe how we make this look good.
I'd like. I'm sliding down the rope. I land on this adversary, and I sort of like make eye contact with them before leaping, grabbing onto the fire escape, and swinging back inside the building at the bottom.
Nice. So you're like, you're swinging back through one of the broken windows to kind of get back in. Are you going to go down the stairs the rest of the way?
From what you described, it seems like it would be pretty easy to just like swing back inside the building if there's no like, if this is a condemned building, no windows, it's just an empty concrete frame.
You bet. And he is so startled and stunned that it takes him a little while to get on it. You buy yourself a little bit of time. But as you enter the building and you're running down, you start to hear, you hear him talking on his radio. Vixen, what are you doing once you've lashed him with your grappling hook?
Yeah, I said I'm cursing under my breath. Like watching him go down, just like, you son of a. And then, what do I do from there?
Your phone starts to ring. It's your brother.
Yeah, Martin. So I got an earpiece that he's on speed dial for. So I just hit it and tell him to go. And I just kind of like duck down and see if there's anything immediately watching me while I figure out what to do. My inclination is to go down the building the other way. Still the original idea to just kind of split up.
Okay. And Martin says, what does he say? Hey sis, how's Dante?
It's an idiot.
Okay. You're breathing hard. Uh-oh. You hear him pause as he looks over at the monitoring equipment he has, and I see your heart rate's up. This is bad news. What's going on?
Why'd you call, Martin?
Maybe I'm too late. I'm calling to let you know that there's a new curfew in force. City Council just put it through. Super-powered individuals are expected to be out of Crime Alley after 9 o'clock.
And it is currently?
It's like 11 p.m.
11 p.m. Oh, great. Cool. This is really good news. Thanks for the update. Anything else?
No.
Great, Martin. Thank you. Thank you, Martin. Great work. Just doing your job with all aplomb. Yeah.
Well, guess where I am right now, Martin.
All right. I think I'll let you go, okay? Let me know if you need anything.
Yeah, sure. I'll see you in hopefully, what does it take me to get home? 30 minutes? So maybe 35 minutes.
10-4. He signs up.
Okay, sweet.
And I'm imagining you're moving as you're doing this, right?
Yeah, I'm kind of like slow running across to the other side of the building, and I want to assess the situation to kind of see what we're up against in terms of a force, as well, to see whether there's vehicles, people, other supers, helicopters, because that'll help me determine what my best escape is going to be.
All right, rate it.
And I do
another.
So there's assess the situation. I have straight up creeping, so I can roll mundane.
I don't think so, because straight up creeping, when you scope out a person or a place, I think you're kind of in the middle of things. You don't have the time you need to creep a place. You're assessing on the fly.
This is a quick. Okay, I
roll
got you.
superior.
Ah, dang it. I rolled an 8.
Okay, ask one question.
I think I want to know what here's the biggest threat.
Yeah, it sounds like what you're doing. Jeff, could I get you to do something for me?
Yeah.
Could I get you to mark on a slip of paper or somewhere, make a little tally of intel, and give yourselves two points of intel, because that's one of the assessing the situation is one of the ways you get intel. Just as you are approaching the edge of the building, you feel another shattering boom.
This is me?
And the building sways. You feel this too, Monstrosity, on the inside. And you feel it even more because it probably happened like maybe the floor beneath you or something, or maybe you're going down the stairs and it happened at the floor that you're passing on the way down. Boom. You peek over and you see a man similarly dressed. He's, instead of wearing red, like shiny vest and pants, he's wearing blue shiny vest and pants. And instead of being tall, thin black man, he is a big burly white dude. And he's got his hands out like this. Boom. Boom. and he's holding them up to his mouth like this. You're not exactly able to see what's going on, but every time he does, you feel this building shaking boom. You see like a white concussion wave emerging from him. And now it's happening a little bit more quickly. You've got one happening every couple of seconds. Flanking him, there's probably 3 police vehicles that are kind of pulled up. There's one pulled around on the side where the street is, and then there's 2 in the parking lot, just kind of flanking him. And then you do hear the blades of a chopper, but it's not clear. You can't see it because it's kind of a hazy evening. You can't see it, and you can't tell if it's attached to them or not. But it seems likely.
I drop a flash grenade off the front of the building.
Yeah, you bet.
Let's do that. Right in front of where this blue guy is.
Perfect. Yeah, love it.
So is that your gadgeteering?
Yeah. And we're Monstrosity and I have.
It's nice.
Yes. Yeah, it's good timing. So I'll gadgeteer again.
We'll call it a set of flash grenades. You've got a set of flash grenades.
Yeah.
Just fill in the blank. Please, do you have to roll for that?
Yeah. Every time I pick up a new piece.
You're just using, so you're using
or first time.
Engage a threat.
Unleash powers or defend someone.
Let's read it. Directly engage a threat. That seems like what you're doing. Or unleashing your powers to overcome an obstacle. What do you think?
She's not really directly engaging. She's kind of just like
kind of subverting. Yeah,
trying to
it's a distraction.
While she's got the drop on
your
them.
powers, but you got to roll with mundane, so +3.
Here we go. 9.
Okay. Monstrosity do anything that might help her?
You have anything in mind?
No, I don't have anything.
Have I seen these guys?
No, you've just got the sense that there's something big that's hitting the side of the building. And clearly they don't care about the structure of this thing because it is starting to creak and groan.
Okay, I think I want to assess the situation. Am I reasonably close to my motorbike now?
I need you to do something right now to help her out because we need to resolve her role. So if there's anything you can think that to do that would help her distraction, then great. If not, then just keep running.
Yeah. I don't think anybody anticipated what I'm doing.
I hope you don't mind, Vixen, but I'm gonna keep running.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you drop this flash grenade down there, and it bounces on the ground, and the guy in blue sees it, and he does one of these, and he's firing it off. It goes off before he hits it, but the flash kind of gets distorted. So he goes like this. He covers his eyes, but it's not going to last a very long time. And soon he'll be recovered and looking for you.
All right.
All right, now can I assess the situation?
Yes. You're running down the stairs. Boom. You get this big thing. And like I said, you being in the building, you're getting this sense of like, oh, structural failure is coming if this punishment keeps up.
Yeah.
So that one's for free.
All right, I'm gonna roll to assess the situation. 8. Yeah.
All right, you get one question, and you mark down another intel for the pair of you.
Okay.
Are you keeping track of intel, Jeff?
What here can I use to get us out of
here can I use to get us out of here? Well, they seem to be attacking the structure, and there seems to be some method to the madness, right? They're not going for like uncontrolled collapse. It seems to be like they know what they're doing in terms of bringing this building down safely for at least all of the law enforcement involved. And they're using it as a strategy to do that. If you were to do something to, say, imbalance what they're trying to do to bring the building down safely, that would really mess with their plan.
Okay. I guess what I want to do is I'm assuming these.
Your motorcycle is there too. That would be another alternative that would
okay
to the chaos.
I guess what I want to do. I assume that these shockwaves have dislodged some debris around. I kind of want to just like grab like a big slab of concrete and huck it out there and just cause some chaos enough for us to make a dash.
Okay. It sounds like you're making a move, but I'm not clear on what it is. Are you being the monster to frighten, intimidate,
or you just unleashing your powers?
Are you smashing?
I think I'm unleashing my powers.
Or are you unstoppable, smashing your way through scenery to get away from something?
I'll do that when I get to my motorbike.
So you're unleashing your powers to change the situation.
Yeah, I am unleashing my powers, grab some debris, throw it at them, cause a little chaos out there, and give us, keep this building standing long enough to make a break.
Roll it.
All right. So I'm unleashing my powers. That's what we settled on, right?
Yep.
Okay. 12. I am rolling well tonight. I love it.
Don't say that,
100%.
man. Don't say that.
The concrete block, I mean, I don't know how well you aimed, but you kind of threw it out. We see a picture from outside. It comes out kind of like a pair of shattered windows and like breaks them even more. And it comes out and sails and almost gracefully lands and crushes one of the police cruisers. There were no police inside because they had all kind of taken cover, but like a couple of them are like, they jump away in order to avoid being crushed by these tons of rock, of cement. Between the flash grenade and your action, they are in complete chaos. There is some firing that's going off, boom, 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 and you get the impression from that they're not firing like regular old bullets. Something else is up there, but you would have to hang around a little bit too long in order to find out exactly what's going on here. But the sound itself will stay with you because it sounds like this. Wow, it's got this weird like high pitched. It's like it changes pitch halfway through. So this is going on as you're running down the rest of the stairs down to the basement. You get to your motorcycle, and
that's not like a sound I'm familiar with, right? This is something weird.
This is something.
Okay.
Vixen,
okay, but I do make it to my
Vixen,
motorcycle.
You might recognize it. You might recognize it, but I think, yeah. Have you gotten off the building yet? Let's go back to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go back.
I made it. I'm thinking I like drop the flash grenade and peace out. I don't stick around to see what happens.
How are you going to make your egress?
I'm going to. Well, I got to parkour ninja off the other side of the building than what the monstrosity was going for.
And where the guy in red is apparently still hanging.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So
in my vision of it, we've got the street, right?
Yeah.
Where there's a police car. Let me see if I can flip this around so you can see it too. So there's the street where the police car is, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then around the corner is the parking lot where there's two more police cars and the guy in blue. Guy in red is on the other side. Monstrosity was kind of going down that side, and so you're going to go down either through the parking lot or in the alley.
Oh yeah, I'll go down that bottom side then, through the alley. Basically, on the other side of the police officers.
Yeah. since you assess the situation really well, you definitely make that choice and roll your parkour ninja because I want to hear how you do.
Sweet. Me too. Well, you use your training to focus in on a challenge roll.
And the challenge here being escaping.
I rolled a 10.
Great, so that's really good. You get 3.
Mm-hmm.
So you come up up to the edge of the building, and there's a gap enough for like service vehicles and stuff to make it through. So you're probably talking about a 20-foot gap there. What do you do?
If there is something like a drain pipe or something that's kind of tacked into the wall of the building that I'm on, I'll kind of flip over and grab that and kind of shimmy down, jump off some windows or things like that if I need to or whatever. But
so you're making your way down to ground level.
Down towards ground level, yeah. I can't make a 20-foot leap. Unless there's something like a clothesline.
Superheroes and you're like super parkour lady. 20 feet is a major obstacle though. So
yes. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
You hear a couple of the officers. You hear like first of all you hear crunch. It's like this, and there's chaos. And so you're making there. But as you land on the ground, there's a chance that you'll alert the people nearby. So you land on the ground, and a couple of
I get to choose 3 flow, right?
You go through. So you want to keep describing? Yeah.
Yeah. So I have my avoid harm, bypass an obstacle, use speed momentum to take +1. So I'll make less noise than I should, and hopefully amid the cacophony that's over there.
100%. So yeah, you land
climbing down a drain pipe is nice and stuff.
And you make your way whatever way you wish down the alley. For flavor's sake, which way do you go? Do you go past the pandemonium or do you go past the way that the red guy is hanging?
Past the way the red guy is hanging.
Yeah. And you look up and you see that he is no longer trapped in your
son of a gun.
But there doesn't seem to be any sign of him. So
okay. All right. Cool. So I made less noise than I should. I'm going to use my speed momentum to take +1 forward. So I'm still hit the ground running, and I'm over dumpsters and
escape. I think I want some sort of roll. You've already got parkour ninja, but I want to make you. Let's call what you're doing defending. You're just your final evasion. You're getting a +1 for your defend because of your parkour ninjaing. So save your +1.
Okay. 10.
Okay, no problem. You got to choose 2 of the options. I mean, resist or avoid blows would be nice. Adding a team to the pool or clearing a condition.
Resist or avoiding blows would be good. And I don't know if it's super appropriate to add a team to the pool at this point.
But you've gotten away.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do that.
You could also clear off your stress. That would seem to make sense.
I agree. Just dramatically.
So yeah, erase your stress, and we'll say you resist or avoid the blows. And we're back to you, Monstrosity.
All right. I'm going to use my unstoppable move. Now, the picture I have in my head of what I'd love to do here is just like full throttle the motorcycle out of the building, find something to use as a ramp, and just sail over all of the cops' heads, hit the street, swerve, and gun it.
All right. So As you arrive at your motorcycle, you're kind of like kicking it to start. And as you look up to see the way that you're going to go, you see a shadowy figure at the other end wearing a red vest that reflects the light of your motorcycle's headlight. Roll Unstoppable.
Oh, what fun. What fun. Rolling plus danger. Okay. Oh, yes! I just rolled an 11, so plus danger is 13.
Nice. All right. So
I gotta remember these dice for later, because they are serving me well tonight. Holy moly.
And on a hit, the world breaks before you. So describe how you get past this speedster fellow. And I think the ramp that you're requesting is just the ramp up out of the parkade. The door itself, I don't know how you got past it in the first place. I was imagining that maybe you kind of just like pushed it out of the way. You're so strong that you could just like, it's an industrial door, but you kind of like peel it off. So you've made the space for yourself already. So you go up the ramp and right out the entrance.
So I think what I'm going to do with this speedster is, I've already kind of pushed him off of the building. I've already like scared him some. I think I'm just going to play chicken with him.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's
so
he starts running towards you as you start accelerating to him. And like he's just like, and it looks like you're pretty sure you're going to hit this guy. Because there's no way he could possibly react in time. And then he's gone. So he chickens out, and you ride off into the night. So I want you to do something too, because you're unstoppable. You've got, you know what? That's such a good roll. Let's just say that that's what gets you out. The cops are still in such disarray that they are going to take a couple of shots off at you, but they sail off. They sail off. There's the sound of sirens pursuing you, but you manage to take a kind of circuitous route and get away from them. I would imagine you'll have to kind of ditch your bike at some point because they'll be looking for a large purple lizard riding a motorcycle, unless of course you are hooded up. In that case, we're talking about a large hooded figure riding a motorcycle. But at any rate, you do manage to escape. Definitely there is an APB out on the both of you as you meet at your rendezvous point. We've been playing for about an hour. This is a good point. I think I want to take a little break and have a good drink of water and stuff, and then we'll pick up the next chapter in 5 minutes or less.
Awesome.